and rock.
Ooh yeah. Well, alright, we're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, and I hope you.
Hey guys, welcome to Yardie Belly TV. This is the wifey, and today we're making some delicious oxtails. Yes, and of course we are using about 2 pounds of oxtails, and I am just starting off by washing it thoroughly with some vinegar. And this is a necessary step. You want to wash your meat before you cook it because it's just the sanitary thing to do. Okay, all right, so let's just get that done. And I always twice wash it just to be sure. And of course you could wash it with some citrus, whether your lime or your lemon too, if you do not want to use vinegar or if you don't have vinegar. But by whatever means, you have to get your meat properly washed. All right, and to kickstart the seasoning process, I'm starting off with Moore's marinade. This is an amazing marinade, you guys, for any meats that you want to make very flavorful and tasty, especially if you're not seasoning overnight, but you want that intense flavor. You want to use Moore's marinade, and I'm using 3 capsules of that just to start off the seasoning process. And of course, you know our Yardie Belly special is garlic powder. We put garlic in everything. And so I'm just going ahead and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of garlic powder to the oxtails. And then we're adding our Lawry's seasoned salt. And I'm putting 1 tablespoon of that, 1 tablespoon of Lawry's seasoned salt, in addition to the Moore's and the garlic powder. And we have a little sprinkle of paprika here. And this helps to give it not only flavor, but it gives it a nice color too. We have black pepper, just a sprinkle of black pepper. And these are things that you can add to taste based on your liking. And I'm kind of on the fence with onion powder, but I do admit that it gives it a different and a good flavor. But I'm just not a fan of the smell of it. But I'm adding a little bit of that. And of course, some allspice, otherwise known as pimento. I'm, putting a generous amount. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just crush it just to release as much of the flavor from that allspice berry or from those allspice berries as possible. Sprinkle that all over. And now I'm gonna add some fresh seasonings. So I'm gonna cut up my onion. This is a half of a large onion. So if you have a smaller onion, you can use the whole thing. All right, I'm just adding that to the oxtails at this point. And then, of course, again, garlic. I have quite a number of garlic cloves here that I'm rough chopping. And garlic, you guys, add an intense, amazing flavor, as well as It is absolutely healthy for the body and great as an, just as a nutritional ingredient. Mm-hmm. All right. Scotch bonnet pepper is a must. And if you are a Jamaican, you know how important this is to most of our dishes that we make. We have to give it that little spicy kick. So, I'm just cutting up a small piece. Ensure that you omit the seeds if you do not want it to be scorching hot. But if you are brave like that and you like pepper, then go ahead and add the seeds also. But as for me and my house, we are only using the pepper itself. All right. And so you have to ensure that you rub all of those goodies in, all of those seasonings, make sure that they are thoroughly incorporated into the meat. And so I just have a bag on my hand just to, protect my fingers while I season. I know some people just use their bare hands. That's fine, but yeah. Once the pepper touches the finger, if that should touch your eyes, it can be a problem. So, on that note, I'm using a bag. Yes. So after incorporating all of the seasonings, I realized that it needed a little bit more of the garlic powder. So I added some of that and a little bit more of my Lawry's seasoned salt. And there was just a tad bit of the Moore's marinade left behind. So I just decided to, call it a day and just add that to the meat also. All right, so I'm now adding to the meat some thyme. Yes, yes. I don't know how I overlooked thyme because this is a very, very intense spice that is amazing for any meat. So I'm adding a few sprigs of thyme, and for a little bit of color, just a little sprinkle of browning. Nothing over the top, nothing too much, but I felt like it needed some color, so I just, did a couple drops of the browning just to, give it a nice brown color because you need your oxtails to be nice and brown when it's cooked. All right, so now we're covering it and leaving it for maybe 2 hours. Yes. And yeah, now we have pretty much finished the marinade process, and we have some oil in my pressure cooker, and I'm adding all of the meat to the oil, and I'm just gonna brown it a little bit because this helps to, infuse all of the seasonings, all of the flavors into the meat before you start to pressure it, before you add water. You want to do this just to add some color, one, and to cause all of those flavors to just marry into the meat properly. And I'm just continuing to stir the meat until, all the both sides are browned, and then I'll move on to the next step. So now I've added 3 cups of water to the oxtails, and this is where the magic starts. I'm gonna cover it with the lid of my pressure cooker. Yeah. So after 45 minutes of cooking, I am gonna go in and add about another a cup and a half of piping hot water, and this helps to make the meat more tender as opposed to adding cold water. So this is now the point where I'm going to go ahead and allow it to simmer down, or to stew down, before I just go ahead and start to do the final seasoning of the pot. All right, I'm gonna put a bit of oyster flavored sauce, and this, helps to thicken the gravy, one, and it also gives it a nice flavor and add a little bit more saltiness to the dish. I also have some ketchup, and 2 tablespoons of ketchup will do the trick in helping to again add a little bit of variation in flavor and to help to thicken it. All right, so I have my variety of seasonings that I'm adding everything, some tomato, scallion, onion, and some thyme. And it's always good to finish off with fresh seasonings so you have that nice fresh flavor in your meal. And here I have some oxtail sauce. Guys, this sauce is the truth. I'm telling you. If you have never tried it before, you want to try it. And we even use it on other meats. So it's not just, exclusive to oxtails, but it's amazing. So this is how the gravy is looking. And I just added a sprinkle of sugar to give it a nice umami flavor. And yeah, it's pretty much winding down to the finishing, you guys. Our gravy is getting nice and thick, and based on the taste of it, it's perfecto. Yes, perfect. All right, you have to finish off with a little bit more of this pepper and your butter beans. Oxtails and butter beans are like bun and cheese. They have to go together, right? All right, so I'm just adding the butter bean, adding a little tip of butter, maybe a spoonful of butter, And then, of course, you want to finish off always with a little bit more of the green scallion. All right, and then after that, it's just a matter of leaving it for 5 minutes, and then after that, the plating, guys. We serve this with some bulgur wheat with kidney beans, and then garnish the plate with some cucumbers and some grape tomatoes. It was amazing, and hubby did enjoy this one. It was his birthday, and this is one of his all-time favorite dishes. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about Yardie Belly TV because we are doing big things over here representing our culture with an international flair. Love you guys and be safe. Bye.